Last lesson on soils, okay. As the headings here will show you, we're doing a little bit, just going to finish off a very simple bit of the text, and then we will be doing a bit of revision as well. Okay, so you can head up units, topic and date, and the objective is there for you. Alright, so you can pause that and get headed up. Alright, not a huge amount of notes to do today, but I'm going to give you some revision questions to get done. Alright, so you can do those under where you've headed up. A lot of this will be repetitive stuff. There's a couple of keywords we'll go through in the text, but again, it's just to try and clear up some ideas and finish off the textbook. Alright. First thing we're going to do, okay, we're going to look through page 249 and 251 of Bunnet. Alright, just about, it's only about a page and a half, not barely 2 pages of some reading. Very simple. Then we're going to skip over to New Wider World. Okay, we've finished the chapter about soils there, but on page 261 there's a question 6. I'm going to get you to complete that under where you've headed up. Alright, so if there's any confusion, you can come back and check here on the video, but I'll go through that question with you towards the end of the video as well. Finally, in Bunnet, that should say page 256. Get rid of one of the 2's, okay. 5 questions, they're multiple choice, okay, so they're very easy. You just complete these again under where you've headed up, under where you do the New Wider World questions. You only have to write the letter for the answer. Alright, you don't have to write the full answer because I have the questions here. So again, this is just to get you, give you some examples of what the end of unit quiz will be like next week. Okay, so they're just 5 multiple choice questions on page 256. So look, I strongly suggest you look back over these, well, over the worksheets and the pages from your textbook, New Wider World and Bunnet, alright, to revise for the end of unit quiz. It'll be next Tuesday. I'll put that on Plus Portal now, alright. This will be a multiple choice quiz with about 20 questions from across all the lessons about soil, just soil. You can also revisit the videos on Plus Portals for anything you don't understand, alright. So again, you got pretty much 4 days to get until the quiz is until you do the quiz, so you got plenty of time to do a bit of revision. Okay, having said that, let's jump into Bunnet and we'll get this stuff finished. Okay, so I am on page 249 of Bunnet. Alright, as we said, as we outlined, in the green here, human impacts on the soil, on Earth's soil. Alright, so we've done quite a bit of this already. The first and really major, there's 2 major impacts we've had. One is deforestation, the other one is agriculture, and they're intrinsically they're closely linked. Okay, so first we're seeing as obstacles to the expansion of farmland, building of settlements and construction of transport, roads and railways. Okay, and so they were cut down and destroyed in many parts of the world to allow progress. So the first things we did, we cleared the forest. We're still at it right now. Most countries, even in the Bahamas, we've cleared a lot of the pine forest. Okay, Ireland and England were essentially just islands full of trees, and we've cut down huge amounts. And as I've said to you many times, the rainforest is also now being destroyed. All right. So a large part. What happened though, and this is kind of key to this links into the formation of soils, which we looked at. Okay, and influences what can be grown thereafter also. A large part of the natural vegetation that has been removed has been replaced by another type of vegetation. So we cut down or burnt down the natural vegetation, and then we replanted with crops for food. Okay, so the replacement of the natural vegetation by cultivated by food crops means that there's changes to the soil will take place. So if we take out the natural vegetation, usually what happens is that dies, falls to the ground, and it decays and breaks down and returns nutrients to the soil. Now, by replacing that with just one crop, wheat or rice or something, we take so many of those nutrients away. So even though we're using it and growing stuff, no nutrients come back to the soil, and that can't be a positive thing. All right, the changes made to the plant life of the natural ecosystems, okay, has given rise to new ecosystems. So we're just going to turn over the page. Okay, such as cropland. So we've changed the whole ecosystem now. We've gone from natural forest to something like this, just a road and then big monoculture fields where it's just one crop. All right, so There was a time, like I said, large parts of Britain of England were covered with just forests, alright? Now, one of the things was fire, okay? So the use of fire enabled people, just a few people, to clear huge areas of land. So when we started using fire, and then I skipped machinery, but we could add, after that we developed our powerful farming equipment. So with these advances, we could start destroying huge areas of land, alright? Although the destruction of forests by fire is no longer allowed in most temperate countries, it's still used by forest dwellers in Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, Brazil, most of Africa, and so on. So this still happens on a daily basis, okay? So first of all, we started cutting down the trees and removing that natural vegetation, alright? First, what that then does, then we start using fire, and now we use huge machines. So when that vegetation is removed, the reason was for farming, for food, to build buildings, and then for transport networks. Then the knock-on effect is, not only is the soil exposed and easily eroded by rain and wind, it also lacks nutrients, because we take away all of that vegetation and replace it with just one type of vegetation, which is crops. Okay, so we really very quickly destroyed a huge natural resource. And on to page 251 at the top, okay? Rainforest being cleared by fire by shifting cultivators. Now, we've seen this phrase before, okay? Shifting cultivator is a person who clears a piece of forest, usually by burning, so that food crops can be planted. Alright, next bit, this one, subsistence crops. I might just put that question in your quiz. Crops grown by a family or small community for its use only. Okay, subsistence means they're not trying to grow crops for profit, it's just for the family or the small community to survive off. Alright, then this one is about the rainforest soil again, because this will be a question, but this will be on your quiz. Alright, now, vast number of plant species of the rainforest might suggest that the soils are deep and fertile. Fertile means lots of stuff can grow there. Okay, this is not the case. The forest floor is covered with a thin layer of dead plant tissue called litter, okay, which is rapidly decayed or consumed by bacteria, resulting in very little humus forming. Okay, if there's very little humus layer, that means the humus layer is where the nutrients start to trickle back into the soil. But because everything breaks down so quickly in the rainforest, it's very hot, it's very wet, that means no nutrients really get back into the soil. Okay, so just to clear that up again. Right, I'm going to just quickly run through the questions for you to do as revision. All right, and they can be done on folder sheet under where you headed up. Okay, on page 256 of Bunnet, okay, you can see I highlight question 10. Which one of the following does not facilitate the formation of soil? A, B, C, D, or E. You can use New Wider World or Bunnet to help you. Go up the page and you will see I've highlighted 11, 12, 13, and 14. I'm not going to give you any help with these. Okay, I want you to look back, especially through Bunnet. I know some of it is tricky. I want to see if you can get all 5 of those right. You will not be able to get them by Googling. Okay, you will have to, it comes from Bunnet, so you'll have to answer using Bunnet. Just those 5, and just write the letter. You don't have to write out the whole answer. Okay. And finally then, on page 261 of New Wider World, question 6 at the top right, just the first 3 little bits. Okay, so it says, use this figure here. Okay, describe 5 causes of soil erosion. So what are 5 things that cause soil to get eroded? Then the next bit, why is soil management necessary? Why do we need to manage soil? And number 2, describe how each of the 8 methods shown on this diagram may help to reduce soil erosion. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so apologies, the first one, figure 15.33, will be on one of these pages. Okay, it'll be on one of these pages here. So you need to go back and look at that and describe 5 causes of erosion. Then tell me, why is soil management necessary? And then finally, describe how each of the 8 methods shown in this diagram help prevent soil erosion. It tells you the pages, it tells you the diagram to use on one of these pages for the first one. Okay, so that can all be done under where you've headed up as a bit of revision. I'll put that in the assignments tab for you also. And quiz next Tuesday.